Hi there, I'm Ryan Capaccio, co-founder of Simplicity Trading Systems. Welcome to the Black Signal tutorial, a beginner's guide to identifying full rebounds back to recent highs. The black signal is just one of 7 signals offered in the Endeavor add-on for Metastock. When all the signals are used together, you'll be able to predict the future movements of your favorite securities. Now, let's get started. So, what are black signals? Well, simply put, black signals represent price making a full rebound after a substantial pullback from a high. Price is likely to move up and test its projected target range near the most recent high. This means you'll no longer have to guess when to enter or exit a swing trade ever again. Our black signal will do all the work for you. So the question is, how do you find them? You begin by opening the Power Console inside Metastock and clicking on the P icon in the top left corner of the screen. From there are 2 ways to bring up a securities chart. The first way, if you know the ticker symbol, simply enter it into the Instrument section. For our example, we're going to use ticker symbol DNKN. Then make sure your range is set to Load Default Records and Display is set to 500 records. And click Open Chart in the bottom right-hand corner. Your chart will then open. If you're wondering what time frames these charts are in, we use daily bar charts, which means every bar on the chart represents 1 trading day. We recommend that you use daily charts when using Endeavor. Now, to show the second way to open a chart, we're going to go back into the Power Console and click the Explorer tab on the left-hand side. The Explorer function is used to scan a list of securities and identify the criteria that you're looking for. For instance, we're looking for a list of securities that have a black signal and are in a position to make a full rebound back to recent highs. Simply select Endeavor Black, and remember to make sure your data loading section is set to Records to Load 500. Then select the list you want to run the scan on. I'm going to use our client stock list. This is a custom list created by the Simplicity team that is available to all of our subscribers. The list is populated with hand-picked securities that have an excellent track record when used with the Endeavor colors. If you need a copy of this list, simply send an email to about@simplicitytradingsystems.com and a member of our team will send the list to you. Next, click the Start Exploration button on the bottom right corner. When the scan is complete, click the Reports button. Then choose from the list of securities. For this example, I'll select ticker symbol DNKN and click Open Chart in the top right corner. Now that our chart is open, we need to apply our Endeavor and Discovery template to see which category price is in. To do this, simply right-click on the chart and click Apply Template. Then scroll all the way down to STS Endeavor and Discovery Template. Next, click the Apply button on the bottom right corner. You'll notice there is now a ribbon on the bottom of your chart that shows price in the Endeavor category. If you applied the template and received an error message, that's because Endeavor requires a security to have a minimum of 201 trading days to begin working, so it won't work on any new IPO until the minimum number of days is met. After the ribbon appears on the bottom of the chart, our next step is to apply the black signal. To do this, click the Expert Advisor icon on the top of the screen. Then select Endeavor Black and click the Attach button. Next, close the Expert Advisor window. You'll notice a black signal will appear on your chart, along with an alert box informing us that black occurred and price is likely to make a full rebound and move up to test its PTR, projected target range, near the most recent high, once the TP, trigger point, has been crossed. Check Black's commentary for the trigger point and smart getouts. After you've read the message, click the OK button. The next step is to bring up the commentary so we can identify our trigger point and smart getouts. But first, let's zoom in a little on the chart by clicking on the plus icon on the bottom right corner. Now, click View in the top left corner and select Expert Commentary. When the commentary window opens, you'll find a wide variety of useful information, starting with the definition of black, along with the guidelines required to confirm the signal. Let's take a look at the information one section at a time, starting with the definition of black. Black signals represent price making a full rebound after a substantial pullback from a high. Price is likely to move up and test its projected target range near the most recent high, once the trigger point has been crossed. Now, the definition of black refers to a few terms that you may not be familiar with: projected target range and trigger point. Projected target range, or PTR, identifies how high price can rise before an exit is recommended. Black's projected target range must be manually determined. This is a simple process that I'll show later in the tutorial. Trigger point, or TP, is a price that, if crossed, confirms the signal. Now, no action should be considered until the TP is crossed. We use trigger points to help prevent us from getting whipsawed when entering a trade. The next section in the commentary is labeled Smart Getouts that apply to black. This is a quick reminder of the two smart getouts that are used when analyzing full rebound movements. PTR, which you may remember from earlier, stands for projected target range and is made up of two figures that identify how high price can rise before an exit is necessary. If price enters inside or above the figures, an exit is recommended. DEP, which stands for Defined Exit Point, is a price located below the colored signal that represents an exit level. If price falls below this level, an exit is necessary. Next, we have our black date, which shows the date on the chart where the black signal occurred. Below the date, you'll find the trigger point, which is the most important piece of information in the commentary. Our trigger point is 5473. Remember, for a black signal to be confirmed, price must cross the trigger point. Now, to get a better idea of how far price has to rise to cross the trigger point, let's mark 5473 on the chart with a horizontal black line. To do this, simply click on the horizontal line icon on the left-hand side, place it anywhere on the chart, and double-click on it. Type in the value of the trigger point, 5473, and if you want to choose the color of your line, select Color and Style. Then click OK. You'll notice a line has appeared on the chart that represents 5473. I've also added the price on top of the black line for your reference. Now that we know our trigger point, let's scroll down in the commentary to the projected target range so we can identify where price is likely to move up to if our trigger point is crossed. Remember, the projected target range, also known as PTR, is made up of two figures that identify how high price can rise before an exit is necessary. If price enters inside or above these figures, an exit is recommended. However, the black signal requires these figures to be manually determined by marking the two highest sets of clusters created by opens and closes below the most recent high. This may sound complicated, but is actually surprisingly simple. Start by identifying the most recent high in the chart. In this case, it's the bar in March that I have marked with a black dot. Then move down and find the two highest sets of clusters. As you can see, I've circled the highest set of clusters, which will become our top projection. Next, I'll place a horizontal line on the chart to mark the price that they represent. In this example, the price is $57.89. Click the horizontal line icon on the left-hand side. Place the line anywhere on the chart, then double-click on it. And type in $57.89 in the value section. Then click OK. A new line, which I have made red, has appeared on the chart. I have also added the price of $57.89 on top of the line for your reference. Now that we have our top projection, we need to find the bottom. To do this, continue moving down and find the next lowest grouping of opens and closes on the chart. Again, I've circled them in red. These will become our bottom projection. I'll place a horizontal line on the chart to mark the price that they represent, $56.61. Select the horizontal line icon again. Place the line anywhere on the chart and double click on it. And type in 56.61 in the value section. Then click OK. Again, a new red line has appeared on the chart, and I have added the price of 56.61 on top of it. We now have our projected target range of 56.91 through 57.89 marked on our chart, and we know how high price is likely to rise if the trigger point is crossed. Now that we know our upside projection, we need to identify our downside risk. To do this, we continue scrolling down in the commentary to the defined exit point, also referred to as DEP. Remember, the defined exit point is a price located below the colored signal that represents an exit level. If price falls below this level, an exit is necessary. Let's mark the figure on our chart. Select the horizontal line icon, then double click on it, and type 52.16 in the value section. I'm also going to use the Color and Style tab to choose a dotted red line to represent the figure on the chart. Then click OK. A new dotted line has appeared on the chart, and I have added the price of 52.16 underneath it. We now have our downside risk clearly marked on the chart, so we know the exact price our trade should be exited if price falls after taking out the trigger point. Now, throughout this process, I've used a few terms that you may not be familiar with, terms that mainly pertain to smart get-outs. It's not necessary to memorize any of the definitions we've discussed. If you continue scrolling down in the commentary, you'll find a section called Smart Get-Outs that apply to black. In this section, we've provided the definitions of the unfamiliar terms, as well as a link to more tutorial videos like the one you're watching now. We are now finished with the commentary window, and it's okay to close it. Click the X in the top right corner. Now let's quickly recap what we know. If price crosses the trigger point of 54.73, our black signal will be confirmed, and you can expect price to make a full rebound all the way up to the projected target range of 56.61 through 57.89. However, if price falls after the trigger point has been crossed, then we're going to exit our trade at our defined exit point of 52.16. Let's move forward in time and see if price crosses the trigger point. The next day, our trigger point is crossed, confirming the black signal. It is now safe to enter the trade, and you should expect price to hit our projected target range. Let's move forward in time again and see how the trade worked out. You can see here price moved from our trigger point of 54.73 and hit inside the projected target range, getting up to 57.80 before pulling back. That's over 5% in just 8 days. Swing trading just got a whole lot easier. Once you get used to using all the features black has to offer, you'll be able to analyze trades in minutes. Remember, black is just one of 7 signals in the Endeavor add-on for Metastock, so don't forget to check out the videos on all the other signals. I hope this tutorial was helpful, and as always, if you have any questions or have an idea for a tutorial that you think will help others, you can contact us at about@simplicitytradingsystems.com.